original idea for Антураж, the series, started with a group of my friends that we were all hanging out, and it was really kind of like the birth of reality TV. And so they felt like what an interesting thing it would be to follow me and my guys around with all the craziness that was going on within my movie career and my personal life and all this stuff. And I said, absolutely not. But we would be interested in actually creating a scripted series loosely based on my life. So we pitched it to HBO. They bought it right away. So we would basically sit around on my basketball court and we'd tell stories, and I'd bring all my guys around. That was how it started.
Get him, Vinny.
Now, with this movie, you kind of bring the guys back together.
Vinny Chase is back, baby!
We haven't all been together in a room in probably a year and a half.
Longer than that.
6 of us. You know, it feels like nothing's changed.
So, what's up with you guys, huh?
They've been frozen like Ted Williams, waiting for the return of their life. And now that it has returned, let's get back to
I
it.
wrote the pilot script in probably 2001. I think we shot in 2003.
Fall of 2003, late 2003 we shot.
But Jeremy was the only one I actually had in mind for a character, so really I was like, okay, maybe it's funny, maybe it's not, but when I had this group together, I thought we had something special. I don't know if some of them agreed, because I remember we would sit around during the pilot going, this thing has no shot of going anywhere, and stuff like that.
I knew I liked these guys. I mean, right off the bat, like that, to me, really indicated that we had something special.
I knew it was going to be a hit right away, right, guys?
I will back Dylan on that.
This show's got everything, and I just called it early.
Kevin, you were the only one.
I've had enough failures to know when you got a good one.
You wanna hug it out?
No, not really.
Let's hug it out, bitch.
I didn't know until the 3rd season that it was a comedy. I'm in the office with Lloyd, and they're on a phone call with them living the dream. All the bikinis and the madness. I wasn't on those sets.
Yeah. My goal was to make it more real than funny, and if one had to sacrifice the other, the idea was let's make it real, and almost every story on the show has been taken from my life, Jeremy, one of these guys, other movie stars who we are in the world of, or Mark. So, you know, most of it is pretty real and not a parody. So.
Vinny, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, Mark?
I'm doing some looping for Ted 3.
3? How many of those are you gonna do?
Shit, I'll do 20 if I can.
Listen, this is loosely based on Mark's life. I mean, there was a drama and a turtle and E and Ari in his life. So these are prototypes that exist. You know, they went to such great lengths to make it authentic. That's why people bought it here, and that's why it traveled, I think, all over to the world so well.
So much luck involved in how things worked out. Adrian was cast in another movie the day we were starting, and I don't know how we got you out of that. Kevin had retired from acting, essentially. No, but I mean, he wanted to focus on directing, which he's done great stuff now. Kevin, I was with a friend of his the night before he came in, and she's like, you know, I think he'd be great for this. I'm like, all right, whatever. And he walked in, and it was like, it was 8 years of material instantaneously when I saw him, and Jerry was 24, right?
23.
23. Kevin was not. And we're playing them as if they went to high school together and they're buddies, and nobody ever questioned it. It was one of my, I stayed up late at night going, people are gonna be like, what is this show? It makes no sense. And nobody ever said one word about it.
Not one word.
Right. So Jerry clearly looks very old, obviously.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm out of here, motherfuckers.
He nails it every time.
I love it. I love it.
You know, it's interesting because the show became this kind of big behemoth, but we were shooting this like a student film when we started. Really guerrilla, you know, run and gun. We'll do whatever we have to do to get this right, as raw as possible, while still trying to make it as exciting as we could.
Sometimes we'd be shooting those scenes live.
Yeah.
Like when we were in Canada, it was like we had one take, and you got to nail it. We were on the street, and our first AD at the time was kind of panicking because there were just, you know, hundreds of people weaving in and out, and how could we possibly? And I said, look, man, we're gonna be good because number one, they're all used to cameras. It's the film festivals. None of them will look in the camera, and we'll just use all of them as extras. Mm-hmm. And we did. I mean, it looked like a $150 million movie.
That was our greatest cinematic moment in the history of the show. Pulling off the can scene on the red carpet. There's like a little bit of luck involved. So much that could go wrong. It was just like,
I had the first line getting out of the limo. I was terrified.
Drama, you know the lesson of the day. How can you love her?
I've known her long enough to know she doesn't have any of those things that would make me not love her.
We got one shot. There is no take two. So whatever we do here is what we got to live with. There is no take two.
that just gave me anxiety when you just
Usually
said
you
that.
get to go home early because you cover so many pages in one shot, which is always nice.
So, we all miserable?
Not in the slightest.
I think the walk-in talks, though, I think everybody was a little uncomfortable with them to start with and then grew to like them. They make it feel much more real and they can just act. When there's no cuts and there's no editing to protect them, it's really, this is what they're acting. If you were standing on the street watching them, it would be the exact same thing.
I had a hard time sleeping sometimes the night before knowing there was like a 5-page walk and talk. Like if you weren't on and ready to go, like you literally could cause the whole day to be a failure if you weren't ready to bring it. Because you can get 3 pages into a 5-page walk and talk and one little bumble of a line and go back to one, start all over again. So it was almost like the night before a big game, like, oh, if you're not ready, it's going to be a long day. The crew will be staring at you, kind of looking at your watch.
Time is of the essence. I want you to hype this bitch.
The other funny thing too about the walk and talks is you can get stuck in a walk and talk, and this was, Kevin and I always had a joke because I'm a big Yankees fan and Kevin's a big Mets fan. Mm-hmm. And I said at the end of the take, Kevin said something about the Mets, and I said, who gives a shit about the Mets? I was kidding around. I thought we would be able to cut that out.
Can't cut it.
And Doug called me. He's like, what's wrong with you? We're stuck with
Queens.
that.
The guys are from Queens, so there should be Met fans.
We're stuck with that. I'm like, well, can you cut it out? No, because it's a walk and talk. It was a oneer. And there was something wrong with every other take, and that was the only perfect take.
You lock him into it.
And
I still get
there was a lot of backlash from that
Tell
too.
me
A
about
lot of
it.
angry Met fans, including me. I didn't like it. I was like, what are you doing?
Doug always wanted to be on the forefront of the new toy. So if there was a new BlackBerry or whatever phone was coming out, it was important that we had it, just because people sort of expected us to have it. And we would try to time it. So it's like, look, this phone isn't going to be available till, October, and we're shooting in April. And it's like, listen, send us one that doesn't work, but at least let us have it in our hands. So by the time it comes out, we're not holding an old phone.
I have to take this.
I get asked that on Twitter all the time. Like, what kind of phones you guys gonna have? What are you gonna drive? What are we wearing? Like the toys question.
Yeah.
People want to know.
But I'll still be in that 65 Lincoln, though.
Yeah, boy.
So we're gonna take all these to the studio?
Unless you think we're gonna look like schmucks driving the same car.
No, we'd be schmucks and Jettas and Aston Martins. We look good.
Good
The
point.
car companies would call me, they'd be like, we'd love to get a Maserati, and I'm like, I'm not that familiar with it, so maybe I could drive it for a couple of days and see if I like it. So next thing I know, there'd be a, $150,000 Maserati that I'm driving around in for free.
Please don't make me beg you to take a free Maserati.
God, this is so sweet.
Doug would come by it honestly. If he fell in love with the watch, he would focus on it and figure out a way to do it and make that happen so it's not overt and in your face.
Tragically, we weren't allowed to take anything. HBO, that was their policy. So anything that was in the show, it was all because we loved the products.
Something really interesting has happened though, and I wanna say it here because there is a whole new cycle of fans that are happening. Like I've had kids come up to me who are like big fans in the show, and I kind of do the math in my head, and I'm like, how old are you, kid? They're like, oh, I'm 17. I'm like, you were 9 when the show started.
What kind of parents do you have?
So basically, it's holding up. And there's now a whole new generation of young people who are binge watching the show and wanting more.
Vince needs a studio movie.
There was a time we thought we might be doing a 9th season, and I guess we kind of all talked about it and said, you know what, if we're gonna do any more, it should probably be on the big screen. The show was kind of shot like a film from day one anyway. We did very big things that you don't see on television very often. After we left, when we wrapped the season, I was kind of, let's take a little break from it, and Mark would just call me and be like, what are you doing? Like, people want to see this, people want to see this. So he kind of motivated me to sit down and write the script, and I think once I started writing the script, and obviously others will have to judge it, I saw that there is still room for these guys and more stories to tell. This is day one of a 36-day shoot.
Even though I don't see these guys every day, it's like I live with them through all of the fans, through the camaraderie of the fans, because they're coming up to me all the time asking me how Turtle is, where's E, all that stuff. So I feel like I'm with them every day anyway.
I always get a kick out of when people come up and say, this is the Turtle, and I'm always saying to the guy, and you're Vince? What's so great about you?
Nothing fires me up more when I hear someone scream victory, even if you're not there. It always makes me smile. I remember the bus full of high school kids on like Sunset, like some football team just shaking the bus, screaming victory, pointing right at Dylan.
Victory! Tell Sloan I set it up, will be written on my gravestone.
I get people who tell me to tell you to tell Sloan what up.
It's unbelievable.
You know how many people have told me they named their kid Ari?
That's actually tragic. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'll be like at the urinal and I'll have guys smacking me on the back and telling me that they are an asshole because of me. And I had a guy travel to London to get me to make a call so he could get into the mailroom to be an agent. You know what I mean? These guys, like, they really see this lifestyle.
Strategy, yeah, that's actually
and you know what? I did it for him. I mean, you know, because he was tenacious, and you know, he'll be running Hollywood someday. We got to get you a real manager.
Why pay 10% when I got E over here for $4 grand a month? Cash.
Jerry did say something interesting. Somebody had asked him if he was, you know, anxious to put Turtle behind him, and he said, well, yes and no, you know, and that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, it still hasn't quite hit me. I still haven't finished kind of looking back and processing everything.
But when it's all done, I'd have to say, you know, I will miss the character a lot. I think it's the best character I've ever played. I've played many characters throughout my life, but none better written than Johnny Drama. He's a lot of fun. He's got a lot of flaws. He's got a lot of anger issues and tons of issues all around, really. But he's always kind of worked. Johnny Drama's had quite a career.
Johnny Drama works more than most actors I know.
He does work.
He's had a great career, Johnny Drama.
He
great
has.
career.
He really has.
Okay. You're Vinny Chase's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You look nothing like him.
You know, it was completely exhausting playing Ari Gold in the best possible way. I felt like when I was done, I left it all on the field.
I was talking to Vince. See, I know they didn't teach you about budgets at spaghetti and meatball class.
You thought he was a pig, but the reality was he was monogamous. And I think that was a really great duality that was a brilliant part of his character. That was his get out of jail for free card. I mean, there would be times when I would read the script and I'd be like, this is the part where I alienate our entire audience and everyone turns. I can't say to Lloyd, you know, have you had so much cum squirted in
those eyes you can't see what's right in front of your face?
He was a good sport.
He was a great sport.
He really was. Man.
You could not offend him.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's also a sniper, and he will steal the scene from you.
Sniper.
Well, you're not looking. He's kind of a genius.
Will you give me away? Ari!
I like Vince. I mean, people ask me all the time, does it get annoying that people call you Vince when you go out? And to me, I am Vince. You know, I'm Vince and I'm also Adrian. Like, it's such a part of me. Despite all the toys and all the, you know, success he's had, I think he's a really grounded person who I think gives a lot of heart to the show and gets a lot of girls.
Where'd you find all the hotties?
To me as a turtle, they found me. Come on.
For me, it was, you know, all of it was kind of like a dream come true. It was like being a kid. You know, it was Fantasyland. These guys got to go to the Ferrari track. It's like every kid's dream.
That was awesome. Unreal.
The show was, while it did have a nice inside look at Hollywood, it was about friendship.
All right, cut.
Cut it!
Hey guys, I gotta call timeout. I have got to go to the bathroom so badly right now.
Just sort of leaving the series behind and going to the big screen, we wanted to make sure that the world was their oyster once again and anything was possible.
I just wanted to raise the stakes from the show, and I wanted to just take it to another level. So it's yachts and planes and giant, beautiful houses with beautiful models.
I mean, it's every guy's dream to be either Vince or be one of his guys, you know, because you're going along for the ride.
You'll see the lifestyle in all its glory.
The show has always been about sort of wish fulfillment and the idea that they're really kind of just like regular guys and they're sort of fish out of water in Hollywood.
It's the fantasy of coming to Hollywood and making it and getting all of the experience that goes with having become a movie star. So it's not just the fame, it's also the fortune that comes with it.
So this is day one of a 36-day shoot. We are on a yacht in Ibiza. We're actually in Miami, but this will be Ibiza somehow, some way when we're finished.
Антураж is back!
Guys, that was terrible.
All right. Антураж is back!
We're on a boat called the Usher, which is this beautiful yacht that we were fortunate enough to get. This has got to be a $50 million boat, I'm guessing, and it's got everything you could want in a house. You could live in this thing for the rest of your life, if you could afford it.
The main cabin is incredible, where you'll see an opening scene with Vince and Nina walking through there, and that has a large copper bathtub that's amazing, a huge master tub, a huge walk-in closet. It takes a half hour at least to fill the hot tub on the top deck up there. Girls are amazing. Cast is having a great time today, and this is why we came down here.
We got 50, 75 beautiful girls. We got Nina Ogdal, who stands apart from most of them.
Okay, so we're here with beautiful women and beautiful guys and the team, and we're just having a party on this yacht.
I heard Miami can party, bro.
I may have to jerk it before we even get there.
Not near me, please. We have all the toys. We have all the latest and greatest and newest toys, like children, like rich children.
Wow, look at its beauty.
Holy shit.
It's total entourage to bring a Cadillac that no one's ever seen before. There's only one in the whole world.
What happened was GM called me and said, why don't you come look at some of our cars? And I went out to a secret location and saw all these amazing cars. And when I saw this, I said, we have to have it in the show.
In Hollywood, these guys, they understand style.
This is like the modern version of our classic Entourage car. So 4 guys in a 4-door convertible.
The CL is kind of almost like the RoboCop version of an exotic car. This car doesn't exist, so it's a prototype. The doors open with like a button, and they're suicide doors, but they literally are like zzz, zzz.
It's a concept car. When movies are hit, maybe they'll have to start making the car.
And 3, 2, 1, action.
It's kind of cool to say that we drove a car that doesn't exist in the world.
It was really fun and larger than life and popped off the screen.
And it's a cool looking car. Yeah, that's something we've always done. We're always ahead of the curve.
Yo, E! Nobody walks in LA, E. You look stupid.
Hey, Liam.
If you spend a lot of time in LA, you will always have these bizarre experiences where you'll be stopped at a light, you know, and there's Liam Neeson.
Go fuck yourself, Ari.
Forgive and forget, buddy, no?
You know, Hollywood is a circus of characters, and what would our show be if we didn't include them?
Wait, what's up, Mark? What's up, man? They were nice enough to ask the old man to come back. You know, pay a little respect to the old man. That's it.
Seriously, what the fuck is going on?
I am dealing with it.
That's a lie. Fix that shit already.
That sucks, sorry.
Cocksucker.
It's funny, you look at the call sheet for these days, and it's Gronkowski and Russell Wilson and Mike Tyson's walking around. It's like you're being in a, you know, a Twilight Zone sometimes.
If you make it on the show, it's like a little badge of honor. And like anybody would love to have an opportunity to hang out with Vince and the guys.
And when the guys get together, you got to be there or you feel left out. So yeah, I told Doug I'd kill him if he didn't put me on.
There definitely was a world that was built, that somewhere in this world, Gary Busey lives by Turtle at the beach, and Bob Saget is our neighbor.
I'm friends with all the guys, or at least I think I am.
You went to middle school with my daughter.
We always thought you were so funny. I'm so cute.
And Johnny Drama broke into the business back in the day with Andrew Dice Clay.
I did over 300 arena shows. I had my entourage. So the show was very on point.
I think what's great is you really do get a peek inside the inner workings of Hollywood and all the bullshit that goes with it.
Ari, get your ass over here. You still haven't greenlit my passion project.
I know, we're going.
What the fuck? Do you think I give a shit about zombie apocalypse? The fuck is that?
I actually used to have Anturage parties at my house. Like whenever it would air, people would come over and we'd have like a watching party kind of thing. But I was at breakfast one day and sat down and Piven was next to me. And we just started shooting the shit and talking and all that. And he's like, we're filming this Anturage movie. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. I love the show. And he goes, would you be interested in coming in for a cameo? And I was like, don't you fuck with me. Are you joking? And he's like, no, do you want to come in? I was like, yes. And it all just kind of worked out.
Oh boy, Army Hammer, 12 o'clock.
Yo, Vinny Chase, DJ from hell.
What's up, Army?
One day I will enjoy sneaking up on you and snatching the fucking life out of you. That's drama. He knows what I'm talking about. Don't you, buddy? You guys enjoy your salads. That was awkward.
You sure you want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
I had two things I want to accomplish. That was to, one, get a hair endorsement deal. Check. The other was to be an entourage.
Let's go.
Check.
There's a weird thing with athletes that I've noticed. I think all athletes want to be actors, and I think all actors want to be athletes.
It's like playing football, you know? You got certain guys that get trust, got certain people that get trust.
They're psyched to like meet the Entourage guys and kind of maybe be a cameo in the movie because maybe deep down they want to act and be on the big screen. I think we're just super psyched because I just want to catch passes from Russell Wilson.
Jerry's a slot receiver. We can sign him up. He's ready though. He's competitive. I like it.
This could be a great one too. Wilson the Ferrara. Oh man, back of the end zone. Stop it! Gotta move the chain. That will never happen.
Holy shit!
What?
Ronda Rousey!
I'm playing myself, which I like because no one can really argue with me about what I would say or do in any scene.
Yo, stop following me, motherfucker! Jesus!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's interesting to mix my two worlds, to share my fight world with everybody that I'm acting with and to share the acting with everybody that I train and fight with.
She's a world-class fighter, she's a champion, she's on a roll, and is absolutely the real deal. Like, there's no contest what she would do to me in a physical altercation. It'd be over in seconds.
Jesus.
I think soft version.
The audience wants to be able to lose themselves living vicariously through the guys and feel what it's like to be able to drive in a concept car and be at the best party in Hollywood and the chance meeting of a celebrity.
Hey, and if it doesn't work out, we can always move back to Queens with Ma, right?
I don't want to go back to Queens, bro. Weather out there sucks.
The movie is fundamentally about a guy who's struggling with addiction and with his bloodthirst for power. That darkness creeps up and takes over, and that's the monster within.
Hyde is Vinny Chase's directorial debut.
Hi, Mom!
It's a kind of reimagining of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
What we have here right now is one of the biggest scenes in the movie, the moment in which Hyde is at the height of his power. And so through the music and through the drugs, he's on a rampage.
This is a spontaneous rave sequence, so we have several hundred people.
I think it's about 280 background. We collaborate with wardrobe on the look. With this, it was a lot of dark colors. It's very goth, S&M. We wanted really shiny skin.
I mean, we wanted this to be really gritty. I mean, we're essentially right into the heart of Skid Row. This is the modern era. The audience expects authenticity here.
DJ Hyde and his crew have taken over the streets of downtown Los Angeles. They are a violent, bad group of people. We've added scaffolds, video projectors, things that they would have set up in a hurry.
There's a bunch of fire going up. We've got 3 or 4 already burnt out cars. We turned over a cop car.
A lot of carnage, evidence of a riot having gone on here. And they've chosen this poor truck as their stage to make a statement.
It takes a little bit of doing and a little bit of knowledge to know how to flip something over. But if you do it right, then you end up with that.
Now we're just dragging a truck here. All good.
We have a special guest star, world-renowned DJ, Calvin Harris.
Hyde looks over and he sees his arch nemesis, Calvin Harris, lurking. He knows that Calvin's tipped off the cops. They're surrounding the place. It's about to go down.
there's this special serum that Hyde tries to distribute.
He's got the entire audience at his fingertips through his drug-infused insanity. He's at the height of his narcissism, and he's ready to go down in a blaze of glory. But he has another trick up his sleeve. The darker side of Jekyll and Hyde comes out.
I'm doing the Mr. Hyde creature. My intention is to have Vincent be truly frightening, badass, still sexy. I mean, he's such a good-looking guy. There's no doubt. So I want people to walk away being terrified, but kind of seduced and alert.
This is not just a story of pathos, it's also a fun ride. It's an action film. With a combination of CG and practical effects, it's going to be the biggest thing you've ever seen.
We're going to be Molotov cocktailing cops, where the cops are going to be returning fire, beating down these ravers with batons and tear gas. It's going to be a mix of drug-fueled sexuality and bliss and hyper-violence and great electronic music.
Seeing Vinny evolve from a young actor to an actor, director, and producer is very satisfying. He takes his role very seriously.
Right there, that was it.
I've worked on Medellin and a lot of his projects when he was an actor. He's killing it, man. He's a visual guy, and he knows what he wants, so it's been fantastic.
He's a natural director. I mean, this is a natural progression.
It's brilliant. If you just look back here, I mean, it's playing for itself.
Well, it's humbling, I'll tell you. It's twice the work. Look, I'm up for the challenge. James Cameron taught me never skimp on the set pieces, never skimp on the effects. Get the best actors, but we've done that, if I may say so. Okay, thank you. So just to wrap it up, sorry I have to go, but spare no expense, because it's on the screen at the end of the day, and that's what people are watching. So we're putting it on the screen. See you later. Thank you.
Jonah!
My name's Lucas right now, and when I was in the movie, my name was Jonah. I played Jeremy's son. Run and stuff like that. I ran to Jeremy and gave him a hug. Daddy?
Yeah, buddy.
Am I going to school with Darren Hornick next year? Because I really, really want to. It's fun. I told them, and they cried so hard because they really, really wanted to be on TV. Yeah. Because it's fun. Just doing a lot of fun stuff. Because I didn't really want to get in business. Anturaj. Anturaj is the coolest show on TV.
There we go.
Yeah, see, he takes direction well.
Right.
We got so many great people. My son, he's a surprise. He plays Ari's son.
Well, I played Jonah Gold, Ari Gold's son, in the movie and in the TV show. This is my first movie premiere, so I'm really excited. It was so fun to be a member of the cast. It was awesome.
Hey, Mark.
We're in Italy right now, and we're getting ready to move back to LA. I've been working with Jeremy and Perry for 6 years, and it was a lot of fun, and they're really cool, and
it's been really fun working with them.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
It's cool, it's exciting. I've gotten to say action and rolling and cut, and that's been really cool to be able to direct the actor. Who's the girl?
This is Alyssa Miller.
Hi. It was a lot of fun. Mom, Drama's a fucking idiot.
Are you kidding me right now?
Sorry.